Think about the first time you decided you were ready to spar. You watched the highlight reels. You saw the combinations, the footwork, fighters moving like they were reading minds. You thought, I need to get in there. I need to feel what that's like. So you showed up. You got hit. A lot. You covered up, swung wild, gassed out in 90 seconds, and left feeling like you learned absolutely nothing. That's not sparring. That's just getting hit with a mouthguard in. Here's what nobody tells you when you start martial arts. Sparring is a testing tool. It tests what you already know. If you know nothing going in, you're not learning in there. You're surviving. And surviving teaches you fear, not skill. The fighters who improve the fastest are not the ones sparring the most. They're the ones who showed up to sparring already knowing what they were doing. They tested their tools, found the gaps, went back and drilled, tested again. Today I'm giving you the 4 things you need locked in before you ever step into a sparring round. Skip any one of these and sparring becomes the most expensive way to learn nothing. Number 3 is the one most coaches never talk about, and it's the exact reason most beginners plateau after their first 2 months. 1. Your stance and footwork have to be automatic. Most beginners walk into sparring thinking about their hands. They should be thinking about their feet. Your stance is the foundation of everything. Your guard, your power, your ability to not get dropped. All of it starts with where your feet are positioned. If your stance collapses under pressure, your punches have no base. Your defense has no structure. You're just flailing in an uncomfortable position hoping nothing lands clean. Here's the problem. When you're sparring, your brain is completely overloaded. You're tracking your opponent's hands, reading their movement, managing distance, trying to remember your combinations. You have zero cognitive space left to think about your feet. That's exactly why footwork has to be automatic before you spar. It has to live in your muscle memory, not in your conscious mind. Drill your stance daily. Shadow box. Move forward, backward, lateral, without thinking about it. When your feet move on their own, your brain is free to actually function in sparring. Footwork first. Everything else is built on top of it. 2. You need at least 3 reliable combinations. You don't need 30 techniques. You need 3 you actually trust under pressure. Most beginners make the mistake of collecting every combination they see online. Jab, cross, hook. Lead, uppercut, cross. Spinning back kick. They treat techniques like trading cards and own none of them. When real pressure comes in sparring, someone moving forward fast, cutting the angle, throwing first. Your brain doesn't flip through a mental catalog. It reaches for what it knows deeply. And if you don't deeply know anything, you freeze. 3 combinations. That's the floor. Pick them. Drill them until they feel like breathing. Jab, cross, hook. Jab, cross, lead kick. Double jab, cross. Simple, unglamorous, effective. Research on motor learning shows that skill under pressure is directly tied to repetition volume on specific patterns. You need thousands of reps on a small number of movements before they become reliable when someone is actually hitting back. 3 combinations drilled to death beat 30 techniques touched once, every single time. 3. Your defense has to exist before your offense. This is the one most beginners skip, and it is the exact reason they stop improving after month 2. Beginners love offense. Offense feels good. You throw, something lands, dopamine hits. Defense is the opposite of that. Defense is boring. Defense is getting out of the way of something that hasn't happened yet. But here's the reality. If you cannot defend basic attacks, you will never consistently land your offense. Because the moment you load up to throw, you'll eat a counter. You'll flinch. You'll pull back. You'll stop trusting your own hands. Your defense is what makes your offense possible. Before you spar, you need to be able to slip a jab, roll under a hook, check a kick, cover up and exit a corner cleanly. These are not advanced techniques. These are the minimum requirements to function inside a round. Drill defense with a partner before you ever spar live. Have them throw slow, controlled attacks. Move, react. Build the motor pattern. When a punch comes at your face in real time at full speed, your body needs to already know what to do. Defense first, offense second. In that exact order every time. 4. You need to understand distance. Distance is the most invisible skill in martial arts, and it is the one thing that separates fighters who look calm from fighters who look completely lost. Every technique has a range where it works. Your jab works at long range, your hook works at mid-range, your uppercut works close. Your kicks need space and timing. If you don't understand distance, you will throw the right technique at the wrong range every single time. Your jab misses by a foot. Your kick has no power. You walk into punches because you don't know where danger actually lives. Watch any beginner spar. They're always either too far away to land anything or too close to generate anything. They haven't learned to feel distance yet. Before you spar, drill this deliberately. Use a partner. Practice finding your jab range, your kick range, your clinch range. Make it physical, not just theoretical. Learn what each position feels like on your own body. When distance becomes instinctive, sparring slows down. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You start seeing openings. You start feeling like you actually belong in there. Most people rush straight to sparring because it looks like the real thing. It feels like progress. But sparring without these four things is not training. It's chaos with a mouthguard. The fighters improving every single month aren't the ones sparring the hardest. They're the ones who showed up with something to test. Stance locked. Combinations drilled. Defense trained. Distance understood. They walk in calm. They walk out knowing exactly what to fix. That's the loop. That's how you actually get better. Here's the recap. 1. Stance and footwork automatic. If your feet aren't trained, your brain can't function in there. 2. Own 3 combinations completely. Not 30 halfway. 3 all the way. 3. Build your defense before you build your offense. Defense is what makes your offense actually land. 4. Train your distance. Know your ranges. Know where you're dangerous and where you're exposed. Get these 4 things locked in. Then spar. But hear me on this. The fighter who looks calm in sparring isn't more talented than you. They just did the boring work before they stepped in. Do the boring work. I'll see you in the next one.